Hi parents. If you're watching this video, it's because you probably have a child in Mr. Martin's math class. This is just a parent guide, as you can see here, a parent guide to Mr. Martin's Math 8 or other grade. If you have a child in my grade 11, 10, or 12 class or whatever, it's a guide to Mr. Martin's math class, or how to keep on top of your kid. I'm going to use a couple of examples here. So the date today is September 29th, 2015. You'll see why that's relevant, but you could apply that to any date. So September 29th, 2015. And I'm also going to use a sample student of Dan Martens, that's me. I'm going to pretend that he is in Math 8, Block 1-3, and his birthday is November 14th, 1980. You will see that sample student used throughout this presentation. A couple things we're going to look at. The main one is to keep on top of your kid or to get some guidance for your child's math class is my website. We're going to look at the calendar, some assignments, notes, textbook, and marks. Those are all different things that you may find useful, and I'll make a few other comments towards the end. So my website is the best access for information for parents. So the easiest way to get there is to go to wgss.ca. That's all you need to remember. And then just follow the staff links to my website. So click on staff, then scroll down to the alphabetized staff list and go to Martens. And my website is the globe here. Okay, so I'm going to click on the globe. And there is my website. Okay, it may, as time goes by, look different than this, but at the moment this is what it looks like. The first thing I want to show you is the calendar. So the calendar here is a sequence of events of what we're doing or what your child's doing in class. So today's date that I'm going to use is September 29th, 2015, and my sample student is in block 1-3. So if there's an asterisk or a little star or dot beside your child's block, it means that there's something there you can actually see. So if I click there, I can see a couple of things. First of all, that the Chapter 2 practice test is in class. So we did a Chapter 2 practice test in class today. And second of all, that the homework is the Chapter 2 textbook review assignment, and that's going to be due next class. And by the calendar, you can see that the next time I see this class is block 1-3 on October 1st. And you could click there and actually see that the Chapter 2 textbook review assignment is due that day. And it says what we're going to do that day. So that's the calendar. You can see what your child has done, is doing, or in the past has done as well. Or in the future what they're going to do. So that is the calendar. Now let's say, for example, in the calendar, that you notice your student has the Chapter 2 textbook review assignment is due next class. And you want to know what that Chapter 2 textbook review assignment is. The place you could go is to the Math Files link. So I want to know, again, what the Chapter 2 review textbook assignment is for my Math 8 student. So I click on Math Files, I go to Math 8, I go to Chapter 2, it's evidently Chapter 2, and there's a folder here called Homework Assignment. So if I go there, what I can do is find out that the Chapter 2 review textbook assignment is right here. Okay, it is pages 70 to 71, 1-6, 8, 9, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16a, and 18a. And then there's some challenge questions that your child might decide to try. So that's how I can find the assignment. The next thing, so I'll just make a quick reference here. Assignments, you can go into Math Files. Another thing I want to show you is where you can find notes. Your child will do notes once in a while throughout the year and throughout chapters. So if you go again to the Math Files link, you'll find notes kind of in the same place. So Math 8, and if we're in Chapter 2 and you'd like to see what we did in Section 2.3, I could go to Chapter 2. And there's also a folder here called Chapter 2 Notes, and I could look at the notes here. These are notes that your child would have done in class with me. So those are some of the important things that I thought were related to what we were doing in Chapter 2. Okay, so that again, if I was to go back to the home page here, notes can be found in Math Files, and you may want to watch this video again if you're lost in future times. Next, let's say again that you knew what your child's assignment was supposed to be. Okay, so we'll go back to assignments here. And I know that my child has to do the Chapter 2 review textbook assignment. I know the questions, but my child doesn't have their textbook. There is an online textbook that I have on my website. So if they didn't bring their textbook home, my website has a course textbooks link right here, and it's password protected. I cannot make the password public on a YouTube video because of copyright laws. So if you would like to know the password, you could email me. And again, my email, and I'll go back here again. So the textbook, there's a course textbook link. And if you need the password, you can email me at my email address. And if you're a parent of one of my students, I can let you know what that password is. And then the entire textbook in its entirety is available for you online. So there's my website. Next is, let's say I want to follow up and see if my child finished the previous assignment. So previously, as you can see here, we've had the 2.1, 2.2, and 2.3 assignments due. So I want to see if my child actually finished those and how they did on it. What you can do then is click on the marks link. So if you click on that marks link, here's what you're going to see. The important thing here is a couple things. First of all is make sure that you check when it was updated, because I update marks usually at least once every 2 days, but you want to know kind of how that rhythm is. So it was updated actually today. So I know these are current marks, so what they're saying to me are true. And I have chosen, again, my sample student is in block 1-3. Okay, your child might be in a different block. I put in their last name. It's Martens. Your child has a different last name, obviously, and it tells you the form of the password here. So since my sample student had a birthday of November 14th, 1980, the password that I'm using is NOV1480. That's the password that I used for this student because, again, it's in the form of month, 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 day, day, year, year. Okay, you can click on View Report, and there's a few things that you'll see here. First of all, there's lots of different items, okay, different categories and things that you're seeing, and lots of different marks. So one thing you'll notice is that my child, for their 2.1 textbook assignment, they have good, and there's a table down here to explain what these all mean. So GD means good. So they did a good job on their 2.1 textbook assignment. They did an excellent job on their 2.2 textbook assignment, and they at the moment, with that blank, have not handed in their 2.3 textbook assignment. So I could ask them where it is and if they've done it, etc. So a few comments here about marks, again, that I can make for you would be the following, is just a legend. If they got excellent, it would be ESC as a legend. GD stands for good. SAT stands for satisfactory. And NI means needs improvement. Okay. A couple other things. A blank means that it's not handed in. ABS means that the student was absent that day, so this doesn't count. It won't happen for assignments, but for some things, it doesn't count against or for your child. It just means they weren't there that day, so we couldn't account for it, so they don't have to do it. And PAR means pardoned, which you'll notice my student here has a pardoned, and what that actually means is on this practice test, they probably did it in class but didn't get a chance to finally mark it. And since it's formative, I decided to pardon it from their mark because it's not worth a lot towards their letter grade. Again, a big thing that I'm convinced of in math is that students need to focus on the understanding and understanding new things and being growth oriented and not fixed in their understanding. So they need to be able to ask questions, grow in their understanding, and we need to go over things. So for example, this quiz that was 5 out of 12, we will go over that quiz so that your child can learn from it and learn from their mistakes. Another comment I would make is that this good right here, your child could not redo, but they can make improvements on that. So if I made a comment on their assignment, they can improve it and re-hand it in. Not redo it all, just make those adjustments, re-hand it in and get an excellent. So that's how you can keep on top of your child in Mr. Martin's Math 8 class. Some of my homework expectations, just so you know where those marks are related to and where they're coming from, they're right here. So here's how homework assignment, my expectations are the following. That your child finishes the assigned questions, that your child shows all the mathematical work, so if there is anything they did on their calculator or reasoned through mathematically, they show me what their thinking was. Thirdly, that they mark all of their work. There's answers in the back of the textbook, so they should be marking their work. to seeing if it's correct or incorrect. Otherwise, they won't be learning if they're not marking it. And fourthly is correct any wrong answers. And this is probably the biggest, most vital thing, is if they get anything wrong, they need to correct it with the correct work. So if they got it wrong, then they should show me how to get it right. And if they don't know how to get it right, the last comment I'll make on this particular video is that we always go over any questions students may have the following class, and that's how we help your child grow in their understanding of math. So just before I leave you, another comment I'll make is that I don't take off late marks for late assignments. However, if your child's falling behind, they are losing the opportunity to learn, because we're always moving on to new things as we move on in this class. So I hope this was useful for you. If you have any questions, just please let me know. You can fire me an email, and I hope it was informative for you so you can keep on top of your child, because if I keep on top of your child, and so do you at home, then we can ensure their success. Thank you.